Hi, I'm Chantel. I'm with Devane Design.
And I am Andy with Xpand Incorporated and Homes of Excellence.
We're here today. We want to take you through a remodeling project from beginning to end, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we are here today before we start demo. So you're seeing the kitchen that has been established here for about 15 years. We're going to come in and do what's called an aging in place remodel. So an aging in place remodel is a process that we address what I like to refer to as practical design. And that is going to address some elements of accessibility and safety so that this makes it a more functional kitchen moving forward.
So what we'll do today is we will cover the floor, we'll demo the cabinetry, pull the fridge, pull the range out, the dishwasher, countertops, cabinets, basically get it ready for the other subcontractors, which would be the electrician, the plumber, the drywall subcontractor, etc.
So a couple key points we talked about this morning with the homeowner to help prep her. We warned her that we will be shutting off the water to her sink, but she will have it in the rest of the home. We're able to keep the refrigerator in her existing space so that it's accessible. And then for a while, she'll also be able to use the range. But long-term, we're talking about setting up a temporary kitchen for the use in the construction process, which is going to be approximately 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, about 6 to 8 weeks. So this week, we'll get everything ready for the new cabinetry to come in. New cabinets come in next week, which will be installed at that point. Granite will get measured. After that, granite gets installed, backsplash is installed. And of course, between that is painting and drywall work, etc.
Yeah, so a couple features that we're going to be doing in this particular kitchen that's going to help and aid us in the aging in place process is adding lighting. That is very important, and most kitchens do not have enough lighting. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, they're dark and they feel like a dungeon sometimes.
So recessed cans, we love recessed cans. And we've been using LED recessed cans predominantly because they offer a more efficient light. I feel like they have a better cast of light, and our electricians like them too. So We're going to be adding those throughout the ceiling here. She likes her ceiling fan, so we're going to put a new one in for her that's a little bit more efficient and better size to accommodate those cans. And then we're going to come in and we're going to put under cabinet lighting. That's going to be key. So that's going to be your task lighting for anything that you're doing on the countertop here. We are also addressing this. I know it looks lovely, but we're going to make it even better. So it's going to be something decorative, a nice key point in the kitchen. Everything as far as layout is staying the same. So this is working with our existing footprint, but we're going to take advantage of some space that has not been well adjusted for previously. We have a refrigerator that's a little bit newer. You'll notice those cabinets are recessed. We want those cabinets to come towards the front of the refrigerator so they're actually accessible. We're going to take these cabinets, they're going to go up to the ceiling. We're going to finish them with some nice crown molding as well.
Yep. Beyond that, we will lower the cabinets from what they are currently at to about 16.5 inches between the countertop and the bottom of the cabinetry. We do have some internal features. There'll be a pull out in one of the cabinets here that will actually pull all the way out. It's kind of a mechanically assisted, so it's very easy for anybody of any age to operate, which will be very convenient.
Yeah, when you're dealing with those heavy dishes, it's going to be helpful for any age. Just when you have the accessibility of those dishes coming in and out and coming down to the counter, anything that's heavier can be on those shelves and it will hold the weight for you. This sink here, we are going to make into a lovely farmhouse sink. She likes her sink a little bit larger. She's complaining about this cast iron, which tends to mark up quite a bit. So the new fire clay, we can still stay with the white and then get rid of that marking issue. We're also going to add a better faucet, better height options with this, a pull-out sprayer. Even the handles that we're going to be using on the cabinets themselves, they're going to be a bow-styled arch handle, which is going to make it very easy for your hand to slide underneath. And we're going to go a little bit more elongated than the standard 3-inch just to have some better hand room behind there as well.
Yeah, and beyond just adding a new sink, it's going to be a farmhouse sink. And when you add a farmhouse sink, generally you have to lower the plumbing. And so we've got our plumbing subcontractor coming in later this week to lower that plumbing to accommodate the new sink. Also, we're going to be eliminating a few things, or our electrician will be eliminating a few things, such as the existing alarm system. It's a little outdated. She has a newer system now, so there's no need for the keypad as well as the phone connection.
All right, some good points there. Some other things that we are going to be adding to the kitchen that you're not seeing in our shot today, we are adding a memo station and a bench, which is going to be flexible seating. She does entertain over the holidays, so we want to be able to have that seating available to go to other spaces. And a fabulous island. The island is going to be threefold. Obviously, it's going to be additional prep space. It is also going to be storage because we're going to have some drawer capacity in there. And it's going to have a drop leaf on it. It's going to be a butcher block, drop leaf that's going to allow for some additional seating at that space as well.
Yeah, I think that about covers most of it.
Yeah, of course, we're going to do some fun things as well. We're adding some custom window treatments just to jazz up our window here in the kitchen, and some our counter stools. They are going to be counter height as opposed to bar height, again, just to be a little bit easier to get on and off. Those are going to be custom matching our window treatments for a nice specific look that's going to add some creativity, some florals to the room, and give it some color and personality, as well as our custom island being her favorite color of blue.
Another key feature, we will be adding a new custom backsplash, which will just kind of give it that nice design element, as well as removing the closet doors so that the that pantry is a little bit more accessible without having to open a door.
Yeah. Nady, let's talk a little bit about, a lot of people have misconceptions about what aging in place is versus what ADA is and universal design. So I can tell you aging in place does not have to look institutional. It doesn't have to look commercial. I like to think that one of my specialties is really you're not going to be able to tell that there's any elements of that kitchen or bathroom space that is made intentionally for accessibility or safety because it looks great design-wise. So a lot of the items that we do in aging in place projects, they're not necessarily for somebody that's in their 80s or even in their 70s. If you're doing a remodel in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, you have to think about how long you're going to be in that home. What needs are you going to have 10, 15, 20 years from now? What if you break your leg or hurt your back tomorrow? All of these things are in place to make your life easier. How does that differ from ADA or universal design?
So again, accessibility is important whether you're 8 or whether you're 80. A lot of that could be widening doorways or, again, lowering cabinetry. You don't really notice that 1.5 to 2 inch difference in the height, but it's just more accessible. It's more convenient. And as far as like an ADA or more of a or ADA compliant, you'll have the grab bars, you'll have potentially handicap ramps.
Yeah, and then you're also meeting more codes when you're doing an ADA project, and so I think there's a lot more that's that we're incorporating in an ADA project specifically, but there's a lot of things that can be done in those aging in place projects that make sense for everyone.
So with residential ADA code, it's pretty lax. It's a lot more, or you have a lot more rules, regulations, code compliant issues in commercial and industrial spaces versus in residential applications. So we've actually, or our subcontractors and us, we work together to kind of create a custom balance or mix between, full commercial or industrial look versus a residential look. Even little things like raising outlets to 18 inches above the ground is just, you bend over less to get something plugged in. So it's more universal design than anything.
Yeah, and that's a great point too. A lot of features that we can incorporate without having a lot of extra cost involved too. Whereas if you're doing some adapting down the road because you have to, you may be faced with having to do a space twice when you don't really want to do that. So, and of course, you're the construction side of it. You know about all the function, all the code. I'm the designer. I like to make things pretty and aesthetically pleasing. Right. So together, we're a great team in helping evaluate the needs of a homeowner but
Yeah.
also providing a great remodeling project in the end as well.
Yep, absolutely.
For this particular project, the homeowner is in a great situation in the sense that she's already in a one-level home. And a townhome like this is in high demand. We happen to be in the lovely city of Eden Prairie. So this is a neighborhood that is few and far between. And I think as time goes on, we're actually going to see more one-level homes because it does allow for a lot of accessibility as you get older. It makes things easier when you have pets, when you have kids, I mean, all across the board. So it made sense that we want to keep the homeowner here in her own home for as long as possible. So if we can address some of these key features, these are also going to be great resale assets. So this is not being done just for her. It's also great for when the home is finally put on the market that she's going to be able to get a higher price, most likely recoup 70% of this kitchen remodel project.
Yeah, and at Xpand, we're a custom builder. And so when someone comes to us with the needs of, let's say, they have ALS, or let's say they have cerebral palsy, it doesn't really matter what the challenge would be. We're able to kind of design a custom space, whether it's a new construction home, such as the one we've recently built in Savage. That's a single level. You can roll right through the garage door, right into the house. It's all the same level, laundry rooms on the same floor. Bedrooms, it's just very accessible. Going beyond that, we actually just recently built a group home. It's an 8-bedroom house that is, again, specifically for a group home.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got, different challenges that you're working with. And again, you have to follow all of the residential ADA codes.
Yeah, and I know this has affected me in my personal life at points too. I broke my foot at one point, and it would have been great to have things like a bench in my shower to sit on, a handheld shower. And I have a senior pet in my home now, so making certain accommodations to help pets, people as they get older. All those things are going to be easily incorporated when you're doing the project, but in order to go back and fix that years down the road, it's a lot more of an investment process.
Yeah, it is. And if we know that going in, it's great, but sometimes you don't always know that. So even little things like putting backer inside the wall for future grab bars in the shower, in the bathroom, near the toilet, wherever you may possibly need those, or adding ceiling backing for future lift systems. Again, there's tons of items that you can do to kind of prepare yourself for aging in place or that universal design.
Yeah, and there's so many advances. So, for example, grab bars, you just mentioned those. They don't look like grab bars anymore. They look pretty cool. So you wouldn't even know that they are technically a grab bar, but they're there for your safety and convenience, stability. There's a lot of things in technology now that can be done to aid you in your home. I personally am kind of addicted to Alexa. And my dog doesn't like it so much, but I do. And it's been something that as I've gone through educational training for aging in place, that they've taught us they're using even in senior homes, because it is a great communication aid. It's not just a personal assistant. It can be your timer in the kitchen. It can be something that gives you information about what the weather is outside, but you can also make a phone call if there's an emergency. There's a lot of different elements that are in place that are going to be helpful down the road with those.
Yeah, even going off of that, obviously with the new technology, you can control lights, you can control thermostats, you can control your television, you can control exterior or interior lights, pretty much anything that can be hooked up to a Wi-Fi signal, you're able to control via your smartphone or tablet.
Yeah, and of course that will just keep evolving as the years goes on too.
Right.
So it will be great to take you through this project from beginning to end. Obviously, before and after pictures don't show you everything that's involved. So this will show you a little bit more. We're also going to take a look at a temporary kitchen setup and see how people are dealing with the remodeling process when it takes 6 to 8 weeks of their time away from their kitchen space. So thank you so much today, Andy. And
thanks, Chantel.
We'll be back here making things beautiful. So
absolutely. Thank you.